Okay, lesson 52, determining the equation of a line given 2 points. So in the past we were given like the slope and 1 point, and then we wrote the equation in slope-intercept form. Today we're going to learn a new way to find the equation of a line with another formula. First, let's practice using a slope and 1 point to graph a line. So here it tells us the slope is m equals 4. And the line passes through the point 3, 5. So I'm going to go graph the point 3, 5. I'm going to go over 3, up 5. There we are. Okay, there's our point. So then to get another point, because remember slope, or for a line you need 2 points, we can use the slope. Slope is always rise over run, so this is the same as up 4 over 1. So I'm going to go up 4 over 1, and here's another point. If you want to keep finding points, you can also go down 4 and to the left 1, and it'll keep that line continuous. So there we are. That's how we use 1 point and the slope to graph a line. And you just draw the line through, and you're done. Okay, so now let's focus on the new formula we're going to use. This formula is called point slope form. And the way I remember this is if I have 2 points, then I need to use point slope. If I have a slope and 1 point, then I need slope intercept. Okay, so point slope form is y minus y1 equals m, which is still slope, times parentheses x minus x1. So you can use this in 2 different situations. If you know the slope, you can just plug the slope in for m and use 1 point in the y1 and the x1. If they don't give you the slope and they give you 2 points, then you need to find the slope first and then plug in the points. So first, let's just do an example where you're given the slope and a point. So our slope in this one is m equals 3, and it passes through the point 2, 4. So then it works fairly easily, because this will be y1, this will be x1, and m is up here, 3. So it's y minus y1 is 4 equals 3 times x minus x1 was 2. And then we are going to have to do a little bit of solving to get it into y equals. So now y minus 4, if we distribute the 3, we have 3x minus 6. And then we're going to add this 4 over to the other side. So we get y equals 3x minus 2. And that would be your final answer. There is a little bit more solving involved in this way of doing it, but it is not any more complicated than what we were doing before. It's just a new way to solve. So let's look at this if you are given 2 points. So in this example, instead of giving you the slope, they're going to say, okay, we want you to find the equation of this line. It goes through the points 1, negative 3, and the point 4, 5. So now, we don't know the slope, so we can't plug anything in for m yet. We're going to have to find the slope first. So remember, slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm just going to make this point 1 and this point 2. So y2 would be 5 minus y1 is negative 3 over x2 is 4 minus 1. So this is 8 over 3 for our slope. And you do not need to solve this or get it into a decimal. We can leave it as 8 over 3. Then we can jump up to our point slope formula. So I'm going to write it down. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I think it's important to write down the formula every time. It makes your life a lot easier. So now, I know what m is. We picked this point for the first point 1, so we can plug that in for y1 and x1. So y minus y1 was negative 3 equals m is 8 over 3 times x minus x1 was 1. Alright, now we just have a little bit of solving to do. So this becomes y plus 3, because 2 negatives, equals 8 over 3 times x minus 8 over 3. We need to subtract this 3 over to the other side, but we need common denominators to subtract. So I'm just going to do some math on the side over here. We've got negative 8 minus 3 over 1, and I need these to both be in thirds. Negative 8 thirds minus, times both of these by 3, 9 over 3. Negative 8 minus 9 is negative 17 over 3. So down here this becomes y equals 8 over 3 x minus 17 over 3. And that would be your answer. Sometimes it does get left in fractions, and that is okay, especially when we're working with slope. Okay, I know that can be a little bit confusing. Let's try another example. So, for this example, we're going to use the ordered pairs. It goes through the points 1, 5, and 2, 8. So just like before, we need to find the slope. So number one thing, find slope. Okay, and we know that slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we've got 8 minus 5 over 2 minus 1, which is 3 over 1, so just 3. Then we're going to plug in slope and point, the first point. So we use this 1, 5 for point 1, so that's what we're going to use now. So point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Plug in the numbers we know. Y minus 5 equals 3 times x minus 1. Got a little bit of solving to do here. So y minus 5 equals 3 times x minus 3 times 1, which is 3. And then we add the 5 to the other side. Y equals 3x plus 2. So our equation for this line is y equals 3x plus 2. The first thing you should do is always find the slope, like we did up here. We did it first in both of these examples. Find the slope. Then plug the slope and 1 point into the point slope form like we did right here. And I always notice how I've written down the formula every time I've done this. I think that'll help you a lot when you're trying to solve these problems. So, quick review. Today we practiced graphing with the slope and 1 point. Then we talked about point slope form, which is our brand new equation for this lesson. And then we practiced how you can use slope and 1 point to write it, which is what we did in this example. And then we used 2 points in the next 2 examples to solve and get the equation that we needed in point slope form instead of we were doing slope intercept before. So you should have everything you need to try out the homework. If you have any questions, make sure you ask, and I will see you in class.